When you're not in the room, what happens to your continuous improvement project? Do they leave with you? I've seen this countless times throughout my career, and I gotta be honest, sometimes I've even seen it in projects I've supported and led. And it's a life lesson that I've learned that I want to share with you today. For over 30 years, I've been in leadership, and 20 of those years I've been in continuous improvement leadership. And there's one lesson that I've learned and taken away that I live with each and every day when I'm leading teams. Here's what it often looks like. I get involved with a project. I help them create a charter. I build the team. I bring the team together. I have workshops. I facilitate events. I help analyze data. I do all the things necessary to get improvements into place and get them done. And when I move on to the next project or the next team or to the next organization, I look back and I see momentum has diminished. I see sometimes projects have slowed down and sadly some come to a complete halt. It's a bad signal for me as a leader. It wasn't because the team wasn't committed. It was because there was no one there to carry the torch. My role and your role as a leader is to develop people who will carry the torch forward. In many ways, that's become my mission now, to build capability, to be able to help leaders develop their people and build capability in their leaders. Years ago, when I was working with an organization, build capacity. In other words, I trained their people. I coached their green belts and black belts. I helped them execute projects and get results. I realized I didn't transfer judgment. I didn't transfer momentum. I didn't transfer a passion for driving continuous improvement. I didn't transfer the necessary leadership skills as I should have. It changed the way I do my job. It changed the way I consulting job, changed the way I lead projects, changes the way I coach people. This particular organization, while they were thriving, when I looked at them, I realized they were the same people who were leading the project. All the problem solved were the same group of people. Those people I had trained. They had not transferred that knowledge to their teams. That's a failing. It's a failing on me as a facilitator. It was a failing on them as project leaders not to transfer that knowledge. That's when it became crystal clear to me that continuous improvement isn't only about improving process. As a matter of fact, I would say that's a byproduct. It's about developing people. It's about developing capability. I learned that years ago, and that's what I do now. I've made it my mission. If we're serious about developing a culture of continuous improvement, then we need to be as focused on developing people as we are on improving processes. Give them the right skills, give them the right development, give them the right training, give them the right opportunity, give them the right coaching and mentoring, and then they'll thrive. Then you're building capability. So the big question is, how do you do that? How do you transfer what's necessary to develop leaders? Well, over my career, I've learned it's about strong mentoring and strong coaching. And if your organization doesn't have that in place, then you can be the first. You can be the first leader that takes on a role of mentoring those around you to be able to foster and grow their capability. Now, here's one thing I want you to be mindful of. Many leaders use the words mentoring and coaching interchangeably. They're different roles. I have other videos on the roles, and I encourage you to check those out. See, leadership is built through reflection, through experiences, through lessons learned, either from them or from somebody else who's experienced it. I learned if I jump in too quickly, sometimes I'm actually diminishing the capacity of that team to grow. There's been times that I've set up a meeting and I've deliberately showed up late. And the reason I show up late is because I want to see if that team will move forward without me in the room. And when I show up, if the team has moved forward, celebrate that. If the team is stalled, it's a signal to me. I need to work harder with this team to develop that capability. I've seen and worked with some great companies over my career who have strong cultures of continuous improvement. And one thing I can tell you, they don't rely on a couple of experts to lead the way. They rely on those experts to transfer their skills and their knowledge to others, to develop the capacity within the team, within the organization, to grow and develop a continuous improvement mindset. They develop champions of improvement inside their organization. They look for those high performers and they invest in them. They develop them with an action plan to challenge them, to help them grow. Don't give them the easy project. Give them something that's going to challenge them, make them think, make them grow, make them ask you questions that you can ask questions back. That's when they'll grow the most. The best leaders weren't created in a training course. They get technical knowledge through training. They get leadership through experience. They get leadership from other leaders. That's how they learn to be good leaders. I've seen people who have become great champions because somebody invested in. So here's something I'd like you to think about. Who on your team are you mentoring? And if you're not mentoring someone, who on your team shows the potential to be a great leader that you want to invest your time in supporting and developing, challenging, putting them in roles of leadership? Who on your team has the potential in themselves that they don't even recognize yet? That's the person you want to invest your time in. Someone believed in me and asked me to become a process excellence advisor before I even knew what that was. They saw something in me that they felt that they could build technical expertise on a foundation. And that foundation, they said, was leadership. And I'm thankful that they saw that in me. So who's going to become your next CI champion? Who are you going to invest in? And maybe more importantly, when you leave the room, who's going to carry the torch forward? Who's going to be that person that will ensure the culture that you're trying to create continues beyond you? Because if you're solving every problem yourself, you're not creating capability or capacity. You're creating dependency. If you got value out of this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I have lots of videos related to CI leadership, coaching, mentoring, and developing your team to become champions of continuous improvement. Thanks for watching.